Can you believe how gorgeous these dahlias are in the middle of October? These are amazing, just amazing. Look at that. We had our first frost last night here in central Indiana, and for sure I thought that these guys were going to be completely trash, but they still look good, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I am going to take them inside and I'm going to hang them to try to dry them. Okay, look at these two sets of dahlias, you guys. These are the ones that I just cut from my water fountain over there, and these guys right here are from this bed right here, which is still producing a lot of dahlias and peppers and nasturtiums. But look at this. I'm going to bring them inside. I'm going to bring all of these inside in water for 24 hours before I hang them upside down. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, when they have absorbed all of that water, is that I am going to separate them in small little bunches, and I am going to hang them upside down like this indoors so they can dry. Oh my gosh, they're just so beautiful. So beautiful. I am getting ready to harvest my ginger. This is the second year that I plant ginger in my home. Yes, if you're wondering, here in central Indiana, in this cold climate of ours, you can successfully grow ginger in your home. All you have to do is you gotta prepare in advance for a few months before you actually take it outside. But after that, it is really kind of low maintenance. Now, this year, I know that I am not going to be as successful with ginger as I was last year. Last year, I had it in the same spot, in the same location. It was on the east side of my garage, and it got morning sun, afternoon sun until later in the evening. Well, until the sun pretty much covered the other side of the garage. And last year I had it in a container, big, deep container. And by this time last year, the leaves, the foliage of the plants, they were like 3 feet tall. This year, however, they're not that healthier or as big as they were last year. This year, I am using this tall raised bed that I got on the Facebook marketplace a few years ago. And it is made out of wood, but it's only about 1 foot or so of depth as far as the space for the roots go. Now, I know that that's probably one of the biggest reasons why this ginger didn't do as well. Now, I am right now just going by the foliage. Like I say, the foliage last year, I mean, it reached about 3 feet tall. I'm going to try to insert a couple of clips from last year when I did the harvest so you can see. But this year, I mean, the foliage is still looking good. It's starting to die. The leaves are starting to die back. We have been getting a little bit of a cool weather in the mornings. It's fall. We had our first frost last night and this morning, so it is time for me to harvest them. Now, I know that some people say that they harvest their ginger about a month after their first frost. Don't want to risk it. Again, my container where I have this ginger is not as huge, so I just want to take care of it now. Also, I did use this pine mulch this year for most of my raised beds, a lot of my containers, and also for this raised bed. And I love it. I am definitely going to be repeating this for next year. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to harvest this ginger. I am probably going to let it outside for a couple of days so that it dries a little bit before I completely cut it from the foliage. Let me show you what we are getting this year. I am just going to put this mulch on the ground for right now. And this is also the bed where I had my ground cherries right here. I had one of the ground cherry plants over there. And as you can tell here, I have some weeds, obviously. But as you can tell here, if the conditions are right for growing ginger, the plant is just going to start producing more shoots and more shoots, like this guy right here. This is kind of how the shoots look like when ginger is sprouting. and it's beautiful. I have more shoots coming over here on the side. Ginger is a tropical, so it is time for me to move them, get them out of here, because we are getting really cold temperatures. And one of the things that can happen is if these guys get wet and get really cold, is that they can just rot. The roots can rot. So let me get something to dig these guys out carefully, and I'll show you what we get. As you can tell right here, for this plant right here, this is the one that sprouted, this is the one that rooted, and this is the rest. This is all of the ginger that pretty much came out of this guy. So it pretty much tripled as far as how much ginger we got. Look at these guys. These are beautiful, beautiful. Well, this guy didn't really do much. This is what we started. You can really tell because it looks like an older rhizome. This is what we started. And these itty bitty guys are the ones that produce. Again, these guys right here, they didn't do that bad, but obviously they did not do like the ones that I harvested last year. Look at that. That's not bad, but it is not what I had last year. Now, to be fair, I did not give them any fertilizer throughout the year. So that could have been a factor. Also, the size of the container could have been a factor. Trying to dig to see if maybe ginger just kind of took over and went everywhere, but I don't think that's the case here. So this is it. This is really all of the ginger that I am collecting this year, which is, it's disappointing. I mean, I gotta say the amount of time that I put into growing this indoors to sprout them, it's just, I mean, this is probably the better looking one right here. I mean, it is what it is. Definitely, if you have plans to grow ginger next year outside in your cold zone, definitely give them plenty of space. Give them a big container. I think that next year I'm going to definitely grow it in a raised bed. I haven't done in a raised bed yet, so I think that I might do that and see how they do. But for this year, ginger is definitely kind of like a big letdown. I mean, I still have some, but for, you know, starting almost 3 months indoors before my last frost date and having it growing outside for all season long and just having this little amount of ginger, definitely not worth it, at least for this year. It is definitely getting cold out here right now, so I'm going to take these little guys over there, protected from the rain. I think we might be getting rain tonight, and they'll be outside drying for a couple of days, and then I'll cut them and I'll prepare them. I am not going to even freeze them. I mean, I don't even have enough there to try to store them for months indoors. So thank you for being here, you guys, and until the next time.